Once upon a time, there was a wise old turtle who had seen many seasons come and go. He had witnessed the changing of the tides, the blooming of flowers, and the growth of civilizations. But his wisdom had not come easy. It was earned through countless experiences, both bitter and sweet. And one day he gathered all the young turtles and shared with them a story that had taught him one of life's most valuable lessons. Long ago, he began, there was a young and energetic beaver who lived by a lake. This beaver was strong and ambitious, always striving to be the best at everything he did. He built the largest dams and the strongest houses and worked tirelessly to earn the respect of his peers. One day, while surveying his latest project, a large dam he had built across the lake, the beaver noticed a small crack in its foundation. He tried to ignore it, but the more he focused on his work, the more the crack seemed to grow. Concerned that the dam might collapse, he decided to take a break and return to it the next day with a fresh perspective. However, when he came back, the crack had grown even larger and the beaver panicked. He rushed to repair it, but no matter how hard he tried, the crack just kept getting bigger. Frustrated and exhausted, the beaver slumped down on the shore, wondering why he could unfix the dam or why it had been built so poorly in the first place. As he sat there wallowing in self-pity, an old and wise turtle emerged from the lake. Noticing the beaver's distress, the turtle approached him and asked what was wrong. The beaver poured out his frustration and despair, explaining how his hard work was falling apart and how he felt like a failure. The turtle listened patiently, and when the beaver was finished, he spoke in a calm and soothing voice. "Young beaver," he said, "I understand your frustration, but I want you to listen to me carefully. You see, when you are in the middle of a project, it is easy to become tunnel-visioned and lose sight of the bigger picture. You may become so focused on the task at hand that you fail to see the potential problems that are developing or the mistakes that need to be corrected along the way. This can lead to a lot of wasted effort and ultimately to failure. However, there is a solution to this problem. All you need to do is step back from your work every once in a while and get some perspective. Take a break and clear your mind so that you can come back to your project with a fresh and more objective point of view. This will allow you to see the bigger picture and make any necessary adjustments along the way, preventing you from wasting all your effort on a project that is doomed to fail. The beaver thought about the turtle's words for a moment. He realized that he had been so focused on building the largest dam that he had untaken the time to assess the foundation or consider potential problems. He had been so caught up in the details that he had lost sight of the bigger picture. The beaver thanked the turtle for his wisdom and went back to work, this time taking a more thoughtful and careful approach. He checked the foundation more frequently, made adjustments along the way, and didn't get caught up in the details. In the end, he built a sturdy and long-lasting dam that stood the test of time. And from that day forward, the beaver always remembered the turtle's lesson. He learned that sometimes stepping back and getting some perspective is all it takes to prevent a lot of wasted effort and achieve success. So whenever he started a new project, he took a moment to clear his mind, look at the bigger picture, and make any necessary adjustments along the way. And that is how the beaver learned the importance of balance, the art of taking a step back and gaining perspective in order to achieve success. A balance is not just about finding the right amount of work-life balance or figuring out how much to save for retirement. It's about approaching every aspect of our lives with a clear and objective point of view. Whether it's our career, relationships, finances, or personal growth, we must learn to step back and gain perspective in order to make thoughtful and well-informed decisions. This can help us avoid making impulsive choices or wasting our time and effort on pursuits that are not in line with our values or goals. It also means being mindful of our emotions and not letting them cloud our judgment or cause us to act in a way that is not in our best interest. We must learn to pause and reflect before we speak or take action, considering the potential consequences of our words and deeds and how they may affect ourselves and others around us. Remember, true success is not just about achieving our goals, but also about the journey we take to get there. By practicing balance, we can ensure that we are making progress towards our goals in a way that is meaningful and fulfilling to us. It is a continuous process that requires patience and self-awareness, but the rewards of living a balanced and purposeful life are immeasurable. So, my young friends, I want you to remember the lesson of the beaver and the turtle whenever you face a challenge or feel overwhelmed by your responsibilities. Take a step back, clear your mind, and gain perspective. This will help you make better decisions, avoid wasting your time and effort, and ultimately achieve greater success in all areas of your life. Now, I want to leave you with another story that illustrates the importance of balance. Once upon a time, there was a busy mother who had 2 children. She loved her children very much and wanted to give them the best possible life. However, she also had a demanding job and a busy social life, and often felt torn between her responsibilities as a worker and as a mother. One day, the mother realized that she needed to find a better balance between her work and her family life. She decided to start by setting aside some time each day to spend with her children without any distractions. At first, it was challenging, as she had to adjust her schedule and turn down some social invitations. However, she was determined to make it work. As the weeks went by, the mother noticed that her children were becoming more well-adjusted and independent. They were doing well in school and had a healthy balance of extracurricular activities. The mother also found that she was more fulfilled in her work and was able to focus better on her tasks knowing that her children were happy and well taken care of. She realized that by setting boundaries and prioritizing her family, she was able to be a more effective worker and accomplish more in her professional life. Overall, the mother learned that balance is not about equal parts of work and family life, but rather about finding the right combination of both that works for her and her family. It requires constant adjustment and communication, but the rewards of having a happy and fulfilling life, both personally and professionally, are immeasurable. So remember, my young friends, balance is not a destination, but a journey. It requires constant awareness, adjustment, and a willingness to prioritize what is important to us. But the rewards of living a balanced life, both personally and professionally, are immeasurable. Thank you for listening to my stories today. I hope they have taught you the value of balance and the importance of taking a step back and gaining perspective in order to achieve success in all areas of your life. Remember, sometimes the greatest strength comes from taking a break and calming the mind, body, and spirit. Until next time, may you always find balance in your life and wisdom in your journey.